YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, and I just finished my Odrysian Kingdom uh, discussion. But I have another replay for you. It's going to be more online action, and this one's going to be myself playing as Egypt versus Rome. And this one was an odd battle indeed. It was in the hosted battle list. My opponent put the funds level up to like 15 or 16,000 talents, which is pretty high. And apparently he did it so that he could bring a bunch of Praetorians and Triarii. Very odd army. And then the unit numbers were weird too. 56 pikemen and 42 archers. I don't know what was going on. I think the settings on the number of units in a unit depends on the player whose computer can handle the least. So I guess my opponent's using a computer or graphics setting that's lower. But since it was the higher settings, I decided to bring a variable of that army that I used against Republic Empire the other day. I think that was his name from YouTube. And or Darth Pyrrhus, as you all saw. I brought 4 Galatian Royal Guards, which are very expensive, yet very capable sword units. They have very high melee defense, decent health, good attack, good weapon damage, and they have access to use the whip, which can make them a little better. But I'm going to use them to keep the enemy infantry from being able to flank, and then I'll use my pikemen to finish encirclements, kind of like I did in the other battle. We'll just see how it works. I don't expect that that's a strategy that works every time, but it's kind of an interesting one to toy around with. Then I've got 4 Ptolemaic Cav and a Camel Archer on each side, and I want that Camel Archer for the Scare Horses effect, as well as their ability to fire arrows. So if you combine fire arrows, whistling arrows, Scare Horses effect, you can really help rout enemy cavalry quicker, which Egypt needs because their best melee cav is Citizen Cav, and that stuff's not all that good. But Ptolemaic Cav is indeed a powerful shot cavalry. Its melee defense is higher than some shot cavalry, though not high, but they have massive melee attack and a really good charge bonus. So Ptolemaic Cav are a very good Cav unit. They're just expensive. That's their main drawback. My opponent has 2 Scorpions, 5 Praetorian Guard with a couple of a single upgrade, Triarii with a single upgrade as well. He's got 4 of those, so he's kind of got like a Roman box going on. And he actually walked his Scorpions forward here, which was a bit weird. So I'm going to shower them with arrows here in just a moment. Yeah, I've just sent an attack order in with my archers. He must have lost track of this unit now. He's going to move it back, but I'm going to use my Egyptian archers to put some arrows in here and hopefully kill a few of his men. But these guys don't seem to be too affected by my my archers. The first volley probably just takes off hit points anyway. And Egyptian archers aren't particularly powerful, but I managed to kill one of his crewmen right here. This guy went down. Poor fellow. Took an arrow to the back, I think. Anyway, my opponent is in a pretty bunched up formation, so this will work well for me. Here comes my thorax pike. I'm going to halt. Get my pikes down. All of his Praetorian Guard have clicked a blob attack on 1 pikeman, which is going to be great in the sense that my guys get showered with ridiculous amounts of pilla. That guy had a whole bunch right through his head. So this unit will eventually break, but this is going to give me the perfect opportunity to create the, as someone called it in the comments, which I really enjoyed, they called it the reverse noob box, which I guess means that I am boxing in my opponent with pikes so that there's no escape. So you can see me already maneuvering my pikes to accomplish this. And I'll just start pushing up. His Praetorian Guard are tough units, and may even be capable of taking pike units from the front like this when they get enough pilla off. But now that I've got an encirclement going, his men are going to be stuck here for quite a long time. And I'm going to bring this Galatian Guard right here. I'm going to bring these guys back around to plug the gap where his Praetorians are going to be able to escape, and they'll remain trapped. And then I used my remaining Galatian Guards to hack down his Triarii. This is a job that these guys will do very well at. His Triarii aren't going to do so well against a sword unit like that. And then his cavalry over here got engaged by my Ptolemaic Cav. I got lots of good trample charges against his Praetorian Cav. He tries to pull out and get to the main engagement, but I'm delivering even more trample charges from behind him. So his men start dying really quickly while he tries to pull out. And then my Camel Archers, I bring them in, and the Scare Horses effect kicks in, and his guys start wavering and rout. Except for 1 unit, he does manage to pull out with these guys. And he'll bring them over and try and do some damage. But here I did have to throw in those Galatians to keep his Romans pinned. But check this out, like you all called it the other day, the reverse noob box. So it's inside out. The victims are on the inside rather than the opposite. So yeah, these Praetorian Guard completely mashed. He does get a rear charge with these Praetorian Cav. Kills a few of my Thorax Pikes, but I'm pouring Archer Fire in here too. Going to chase these guys out. dissuade him from staying there. Yeah, this is pretty hilarious, to be honest. Romans have no place to go. And my Galatian Royal Guard are doing really well against these Praetorians, actually, because the Praetorians are bunched up and they can't really get a great attack. See them bunched up between all these pikes, getting shoved ever inward. They've got no room to fight, so I think it helps my Galatian Guard do very well, actually. Yeah, look, tightening up the noose right here. My opponent actually tries to slip his men out right here, so he's going to pull through again, just try and get his men out of the vice grip that I have him in. But I'm going to go ahead and start pouring archer fire. That is their unshielded flank. And so I'm going to pour some archer fire in, and then I'm going to bring my Ptolemaic cav to dissuade them again. And he does try and escape, but it's going to be too little, too late. His guys got way torn up in that. So my pikemen had an attack order. If I would have just had them sitting there, that pull-through would have been very deadly for my opponent. But yeah, it's too late. His guys are going to get trounced by my Ptolemaic cav, and it's going to finish the battle. So interesting game there. Look at the little smushed pit of dead Romans. Give you an idea of what happens when you get caught in the reverse noob box there. Pike armies are fun to use. They're probably not competition level, but I don't know. For some reason, ever since I played Rome 1, you see those giant sarissas. It's just something about it's kind of fun to use pikemen. So I guess that I do it from time to time. But if you're going to play against me, don't necessarily assume that I'll do it, because I guess that's one of the things that I like to do, is I like to always switch up the types of armies that I'm going to bring. So you can see my Galatian Royal Guard doing a great job of holding off the flanks. My cav didn't have to do too much killing. When he pulled through, a lot of them got killed, and you can see that his Praetorian Guard not getting a real impressive number of kills for how expensive those units were. They were about twice the cost, not quite, but almost twice the cost as my Thorax Pikes. And you can see that my Thorax Pikes performed just as well. So yeah, it just kind of shows you there. And actually a fair number of kills for my Egyptian archers, considering the size of each unit, since the unit size was pretty small, and those guys are also very cheap units. So yeah, I guess the lesson there, don't get yourself caught in the inside-out noob box. So in that particular strategy, when I bring those strong swords on the flank, what I'm hoping is that you're going to want to push the flank, but those strong swords are going to make you think twice about it. And then that just gives me an opportunity to hopefully somewhere in the confusion get around the back of you with my pikemen. It's not very easily pulled off, and you can only do it if you're able to ensure the enemy cavalry and skirmishers can't hit you in the back with the pikemen. So it is a tricky strategy and really requires that you have both skirmish and cavalry control, which can sometimes be tricky. So don't just go trying it, think it'll work everywhere, because I've done it a couple times, because there are clearly flaws in it. If you want to beat that kind of strategy, then the best thing to do is to get the skirmish or cav advantage, and then you have nothing to worry about, because the pikemen really have no offensive capability. Anyway, HeirofCarthage signing off for now. Hope you all enjoyed it.